Folks, welcome back to another episode of Coffee, Tea, and Crime. Today's episode, Who Killed Nicole? Folks, we're going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, this case dates back to January 17th, 1991. Our victim, Nicole Aguilera, 18 years old. Now, she lived at 1206 South 3rd Avenue there in Phoenix. She had 2 children. Now, the 3-year-old was staying over at a relative's house, so it was just Nicole and her 5-month-old. So now on January 17th, 1991, it's about 11:02 a.m. when Nicole Molly Aguilera was discovered inside her apartment. She was dead. She'd been stabbed to death. Now, the resource material varies upon how she was found and exactly when. Now, neighbors would tell the police that they heard loud voices and argument about 1 a.m. on the 17th. Now, this is a little apartment complex, and you've got apartments that they bump up together. So you would have a neighbor close enough either side probably to hear what's going on. Now, it's interesting they didn't say if the voices they heard were male or female, and the resource material didn't state it. Now, a couple different versions as to who exactly found Nicole. Some resource material says a friend came by to check on Nicole, couldn't get a hold of her. She wouldn't answer the door, so the friend called the police. Now, the other story is that a neighbor came by to check on her and happened to see the back door slightly ajar. Now, the front door was locked securely, the door lock and the deadbolt. Now, the one version, the friend calls the police. The other version, the neighbor goes through the back door and finds Nicole dead. Now, the police make the scene in any event. It looks like there was a struggle, a fight inside the apartment. Now, the police officers found the baby still in her crib, so whoever was involved, they didn't take it out on the child. Now, obviously, the police are believing that Nicole knew who her attacker or attackers were, which they're going by the fact that there's no forced entry, that she evidently let them in. The resource material mentioned that Nicole was really good about keeping her doors locked. Now, police also didn't see that anything was missing from the apartment, so it wasn't like it was a robbery. Now, this case is still unsolved, and I'm sure they went through the litany of friends and relatives to find out who Nicole was seeing and any ex-boyfriends, etc., etc. One of the daddy to the children, I'm sure they checked all that. Now, what stands out about this case is how personal the attack was. Because now, according to the ME, Nicole was stabbed over 90 times. And most of those injuries occurred to her face and neck area. Now, stabbing somebody is very personal as it is. But to stab somebody that many times, that's a lot of hate. Now, my first thought after I read through the resource material was that it's a woman involved in this. Because only a woman would get so mad that she would stab another woman that many times. And the fact she was stabbed in the head and neck area to disfigure her. But who knows, it might have been 2 people. If so, it's probably a man and a woman. Any event, they sure need to solve that. This is a horrible crime. I watched some of the interviews with her 2 daughters. Of course, they're grown now, and it is a sad thing to lose your mama. Especially you don't get any kind of satisfaction in that the guilty parties are held accountable for what they did. Somebody knows something.